My band is Rebirth, and my name is Justin Hadley, and I am the drummer.
My name is James Hadley. I'm the lead guitarist.
I'm Luke Abbott, play bass and sing.
I'm Jonathan Allen, and I play guitar and I attempt to sing. Pretty much, it was, I don't know, like 2 years ago-ish. I started a solo project because every band I had been in was unsuccessful for various reasons. And basically just did a whole disc by myself.
He had blogs and a bunch of stuff saying he was looking for a guitarist, a drummer, and a bassist so he could actually get the band going. I sent him a message asking if he needed a drummer.
We sent him a message and we asked him if he was still looking for other members. He said, yeah, my brother offered to play drums and I offered to play guitar for him. And then it took us so long to find a bass player.
We started playing, needed a bass player, found this guy, Luke. Originally he was going to be a temp bassist, but he ended up being so awesome at bass that it was like, hey, let's just keep going. So now he's permanent.
In 5th grade, I really wanted to play upright double bass, and my dad decided he would stop that, and he got me an electric bass instead. But we moved here, and there's nothing to do here, so I picked up my bass again. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like basically just had nothing to do with music because the only music I was exposed to when I was younger was my sister's high school jazz ensemble, and I couldn't stand listening to yakety sax because I had to hear it like 7 hours a day. So pretty much I thought music just totally sucked ass. Later, stuff would come on the radio, and of course it was like what comes on the radio, pop music. I'm not gonna lie, man, the gateway into music for me was the Spice Girls. I was on the way down to Freeport with my parents, and I live in Dover, so, that's like 4, 5, 20 hours away. And Spice Girls came on, I was like, dude, this is really catchy. So I went to Walmart, bought Spice Girls and a CD player, and I was like, yeah, this is sweet.
Me, my brother, and a friend of mine always talked about being in a band, and my brother was supposed to play bass, my friend was supposed to play guitar, and I was going to play drums. It just took me forever to convince my mom and dad to let me buy a drum set and be able to play it because they didn't want to deal with all the noise.
I met this guy named Anthony Matarazzo. The next week, me and my brother both stayed the night at his house. I was looking around his room, and he had a Fender Stratocaster, a Squier Stratocaster, and a BC Rich Flying V, and a Marshall half stack. I was in total awe. So then he gave me one of his guitars, his really shitty Squier, and I just started playing, and then the next week, like, me and him got together, and we were like, you know what we should do? We should start a band. So, like, since the day I was starting playing guitar, I was in a band, which gave me an initiative to get better.
Justin came down with cancer, of all things.
Like, it started one day, like, me and my brother were just sitting at home. He was supposed to be taking my friend into Bangor, and then, like, the next morning, like, he woke up and he was like, hey, James, can you do me a favor? And I'm like, yeah, what's that? He was like, can you take John to his insurance company so he can pay it? And I'm like, why? And then, like, he grabbed my hand and he pushed one of the sides of his stomach. And I felt a bump and I'm like, uh-oh.
Like, I didn't have any symptoms, it didn't hurt, it didn't give me any problems, no nothing, and I just really lucky I found it in late spring semester. It just took me a really long time to actually go and get it checked because obviously you're scared and you don't want it. It's like, it didn't hurt, I didn't think it was anything, but I finally decided to suck it up and go get it checked and whatever, just taking it as it comes.
The reason he has to go down to Boston, actually, is because the type of cancer that he has is a myxoid sarcoma, and it's an extremely rare muscle cancer. They're extremely, extremely rare, and nobody in Maine has the expertise to deal with it. So he has to go down to Dana-Farber in Boston in order to get treatment for his cancer.
And he was undergoing treatment down in Boston. So our good buddy Dan Calagio, shout out to Dan Calagio, he filled in for us.
We opened for Mushroom Head in the Autumn Offering.
He was slated to play the whole show with us, but we had just got done writing our first song for our next disc, and Justin really wanted to play that one.
I hadn't practiced the band for a month and a half because I was in Boston. He was just worried that I was going to mess up and it would make us look bad because it was our first national show. But I just looked at him like, John, listen to me. Have I ever let you down? I'm your right-hand man.
Yeah, I was kind of pissy about it for a little while. Not like at Justin, but just at the idea that the show may have that one little snag. But it actually ended up working out. Justin stepped up and there were zero problems. He smoked on the song. So yeah, I was skeptical at first because it was unexpected, but Justin came through and definitely held up his end as drummer, and it ended up going off really well.
Aside from all that, it was a good show, good turnout. People enjoyed us.
Yeah, the national show, I don't think you're going to get a much different answer from any of the four of us. That show was pretty weak.
Because it was a national tour and they don't have to let local bands play on the show, it's a privilege for us. So when they tell us to do something like, hey, can you lift this for us, get this for us, we had to do it basically.
The thing is, it just affirms my belief that big record labels suck, because, again, there's no respect for us. There wasn't really too much respect for a couple of the other bands. But yeah, we had no space.
James was doing his signature hair whip while he's soloing. It got caught in Luke's bass because we were all touching each other while we played.
We were supposed to start at like 7:30, and we ended up having to start at 6:30, because they're like, okay, we're ready for the show now. Start. So we started like an hour early. A lot of people that wanted to come see us missed us.
Yeah, it wasn't the best experience in the world, but it was still good that we did it because we have a national show under our belt now, and we know what it's like now when you have to deal with, you know, really, really professional bands.
The music scene in Maine is very much struggling.
It's not good for a new, different band with that drastically different than a bunch of other people. People in Maine, they like bar rock, or they like basic metal, and they like New England hardcore. We're like thrash metalcore, melodic metal kind of deal.
Just getting the push outside of Maine, or at least down to the southern part, is just really difficult just because of the business element. A lot of places won't talk to you if they don't know you, or if you at least don't know a band that they're really tight with.
Because you come up to Maine and it's like a bunch of lumberjacks and they're all sensitive about their friendships and stuff.
Trying to get a tour together, maybe open for some more national bands that come around here. Keep at it, you know. I would not rather be in a band with anybody else.
Luke was really, really good at like teaching and all aspects of music, so he really helped me develop my screaming and stuff, so now I feel pretty comfortable with all that stuff.
He's probably the most intelligent guy that we know as far as music goes, but they become my best friends. I've been best friends with Luke for probably like 4 or 5 years. Like my brother, obviously, because like we're twins, and it's just like the Pantera thing, the Van Halen sort of thing, where the brothers like play guitar and drum.
We were trying to tune and get our levels right, and these two guys from this other band, these two losers, they were playing this like 4 power chord riff just over and over, and they were struggling so hard. And me being the asshole that I am, I looked at James like, James, blow these guys off stage. So James and I just cranked our guitars, and I just started playing this chugging riff, and James just started soloing over, and we just kept playing until it drove them off the stage because they were just so terrible.
I'm glad that I have the friends I do, because if I didn't, then it would have been a lot harder, but my friends made it really, really, really easy for me.
We hate Justin Hadley.
Yeah.
He's a terrible drummer.
And
I wish he wasn't in the band.
he can't talk right either.
Yeah. And I wish I was the drummer. No, Justin is my right-hand man. He knows he is. He's my boy.
I hold high hopes for Rebirth ends in the future.
I hope there's a future in it, because I really, like, I'm going to college here. I mean, but I don't know what I want to do.
Overall, I'm pretty confident about what's going on. A lot of the new material we have is sounding really, really good. We get more and more exposure every day. People come on our MySpace and comment us a lot. Anyone who's seen us live, they definitely know what we're made of.
We're giving away our first CD right now online. Like, there's a link on our MySpace. You just click on the link and you can download the album for free.
I do think the band is going to make it somewhere. We just need to break onto the scene and get more people to listen to us.
I wouldn't rather be in a band with anybody else.